The sales officers are the representatives of the commissioner. And in that capacity must ensure that the tax laws are administered correctly and fairly so that no one is favored or prejudiced above the rest. Whose business has grown that Bapatala tax more proper? Big numbers. How is that? That's why these jokes are not funny to you.
Yeah.
No. Because you see, because we may act like we don't know. Like, even watching that live stream of Madanga is your man. You know, the live stream itself, it's your money of tax. So it is heartbreaking. Okay? And that's why we came here to teach you financial management so that you guys don't do those things. Like, the legitimate businesses. Say no. Police? Say no. How about no thanks. I'm a person of integrity.
No bribery.
No bribery.
We don't
How not brown envelopes in this room? Okay? Yeah, everything is transparent. Okay, back in this conversation is true personality. But it hurts too deep, and I'm making jokes about your lives. It's not nice. Sorry, guys. I won't even act excited, okay, about your. But I eat your text money, that's why. Shine as well. Shine is like, yeah, text money. I'm talking to people who pay tax.
Indirectly.
Yes, indirectly, that all of us indirectly pay tax. So, we know this by now. I won't spend time in it. What are the requirements? You must register the clearance and then you must file. Simple. No? When you guys registered your business, remember they require an accountant. Where you put out, why about an accountant when I don't have money? It's so that when it comes, we know. It helps you with filing. So here's another trap of entrepreneurs, because we can't afford to hire people. We are everything in our businesses. Or receptionist, the hourly mona, or the technology, you are the IT department, you are the sales. Baba Machin Chaleman is also my phone. I'll pass you to my receptionist. Oh, please use that. I saw it was you.
I can see it now.
So, there are, remember the advantages and perks of running a business and registering it. Some banks offer those services, right? That as an entrepreneur, we have an in-house accountant who can help you with filing. Don't act like you know things you don't know. Ask, okay? Ask, have an expert, even if you have them on a dial. Just have an expert, know who an accountant is. Because those are the things that will catch you up later when you have now monies that you put in wrong accounts and then search on all of it. And then you exercise it like, I go, you know? Because you didn't start from the beginning. So this may sound simple and irrelevant, but please, filing, important. Forms of taxes. We know there's an employee's tax. Some of you are employees here, It's about 25,000, how much? 20. Yes. So it stops being funny. I'm not gonna waste your time thinking about what an employee's tax is. I think like it. We did this in life orientation in high school. Income tax, we also know. Like it? Yes, because you guys, yes, Pumalele.
I don't know, maybe someone will also explain. How do you know how much to pay your employees? Since you're talking about employee tax.
There are standards. I'm glad you said that. Every sector that you are in, you don't suck how much you are paying people. You go under the industry trends and the legalities and you say what is the minimum wage for a person who's doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But let's leave it in the room. How did you guys determine how you are paying your employees? Unala the staff of 5 people here. Yes.
I also do, and I only pay 2 employees permanent and then the other 3 that were permanent.
And that was a strategy,
Yes.
Yes, explain.
And then,
please a bit louder so that they can
according to research, it used to be 2,500 paying wage, but now it changed to 3,500. So whatever money or your employee should not be lower than 3,500.
Okay.
It's
So,
permanent.
okay, so I think the question I'm asking, if I'm selling you a bottle of water, I know how much it costs me to make that bottle of water with the branding and everything. How do I break all that issue milia kubani?
Yeah.
50 cents is again.
Very easy. You start with your cost of raw material, right? The product.
Okay.
So this is 10 rand
Okay.
when I get it at cost, right? It's 10 rand from my manufacturer person. And then already because now I'm clever, I went to Deborah's class, I know how to do basic accounting. I now know things called inputs and outputs, right? What is costing you to run a business? Very important, I'm glad you asked me this. Because I now know this is how much I need and this and this and this. You then come up with how is it that 1 unit multiplied by whatever the output that you're going to put will cover your cost. So then you realize, oh, I got this at 10 rand, I'm going to sell it at 25 rand. I get it. And then you don't get excited, oh no, 15 randa, it's for me because I am the guy I think I am. No. You may realize only 5 rand is going in as profit for your company, not even personally for you. Because the 20 rand is the transport money. Why we are saying you must have ledgers. It is the wages. It is. So you have to break down. So we can't give you the figures. It depends on you, on your costs. Okay? You have to go back and know the unit cost of everything, transport, minimum wages. So she realized that, oh, the money that I make can't afford 4 people on these wages. I can only do this. Also, utilize people who are freelancers as well. There's ways of that. They like, we want our money in, out. Okay? There are people who are doing accreditations with QCTOs here as well. Because also what happens, there are kids on learnerships. Those kids are being paid by skills levy. They get a stipend. So meaning, we as trainers, we're constantly looking for what we call places for them to work. So she can get people because she meets the requirements who come for her for free. They are not free, they're paid by someone else, but because we needed a host site to do the work, they come do. She needs practical people for agriculture. She makes money out of them. She can also register that with training institutions to say, your people, when you need practical, you come here. It's free labor, but the output is the same. You are maximizing your profits, you see. So get around that. But basically, do break down. Maybe that should be our homework going home. Breaking down exactly cost per product, per service, and even your service, which is very important, Pumelela, what you ask. Your service, don't base it and costing it on me. That, oh, now I going to plan to say 10,000. No, there's going to be infrastructure, the calls, when you have the office, when you, so don't start in toy and then when you cupola them, the neighbors can see, why, you see. So think of those things.
Yeah.
QX analysis.
Mangabe une bank statement, like a business account. The way in a corner in touch with Kuleya app is calculated like because I mean it's okay, Malenga for equipment, Malenga for what to say is calculated okay, this year 60,000 for equipment and now we have 40,000 as profit. Then you can calculate 40,000 as profit. Imagine was we for our employees with Malenga and then Lengas was we say now corner we are get okay, I have 2 employees and Malenga this will calculate 10 value. So that's also like that amount, the last amount they show was okay, this year profits are easily Malenga. Yes,
Hundreds.
Very important. Thank you very much. So now some of us are not even there yet, but now we know when we get there that app was for what, right? That's the beauty of being in a room like this. Okay. Then we have a VAT, value added tax. This one is relevant to you now. Does the app also include this? Yeah, when you do this, because then also in your cost, you must also include your value-added tax there. You know when we buy things and it then.
Yes.
So this is very important.
Even
guys.
our invoices.
Yes.
Invoice. We are also paying VAT, VAT. Also, like let's say, imagine saying father equal job, and they imagine if I account in money solar cash, we are okay. This time is equal job, time 10 pets, and
the cash journal.
Gonna calculate everything. So okay, this time is my lega and profit the way my lega.
Nice, guys. Shortcuts. Come on, technology. Okay. Yeah. So then maybe we don't have to be speaking so much English when we can just punch in the numbers, ne? Yeah, Lala, let me do my job. Okay. Very important, and that takes us straight to financial statements. Because now financial statement is what's going to tell us this long English. Ne? Financial statement tells us exactly where the money goes, and it speaks without you. Understanding financial statements is essential to the success of a small business, particularly. Financial statements can be used as a roadmap on your business journey to economic success. Using numbers as navigation aids can steer you there. The aids can steer you in the right direction and help you avoid costly breakdowns. Literally what she just told us now, right? So please use that information. Use the app, familiarize yourself with it, so that also don't wait until you need it. Start now. Okay. The importance of it, things that we know. Many business experts and accountants recommend that you prepare financial statements monthly, right? Quarterly at a minimum if you can't do it all the time. Some companies prepare them at least once a week so that they don't wait for them to pile up and then you are overwhelmed. Sometimes daily to stay abreast of results. I prefer daily. So that also daily gives you an idea. You know when you know your business so well that guys, because you know that if I do this much daily, if something is off, you know immediately, and that's the point of accounting, so that you can see that something is off here, and then you can auto-correct quickly. So the more frequently a company prepares their financial statements, the sooner timely decisions can be made, okay? Then, what do we have? We have income and expenditure statement. I think that's about income and expenditure.
Yes.
Is there someone who will be like, do your job? I don't know what that is. I'm not going to act like I know it because I'm in front of people. Yeah, so that I know I don't waste your time. The money that is coming in, money that we are output, right? Purpose of income and expenditure statement. So now we know what it is. You might be asking yourself, why am I going through this abuse? Because now I'm a business person. Huh? The following are some of the purposes: to clearly show how much money was made, to know how much profit or loss that is making, and it also helps you to pinpoint items that are causing unexpected expenditures. That's the unexpected part, right? You have to know how you will cope under emergencies. That is very, very important, guys. You can't not be productive and not give us a service or a product because your company is going through things. If you compare income and expenditure statement for different consecutive periods, the enterprise can deduce whether the income is rising or stagnating. This part we know very well. Okay? And also when you do it frequently, we then see that, oh, come month March, we made a lot of money. The numbers will show you. And then the other months went down. Then you start realizing a pattern, right? And then you go back and you say, what was happening in March that gave us money and now it's not happening? Then also you can see if your business is seasonal, right? You see, summer people eat ice cream, winter it will go down because we don't eat that. What does that help you with decision making? What else my ice cream eaters are eating instead of my ice cream? Then you're like, oh, I can get a frappuccino machine. Huh? Who's like, and give us warm things on the side. So those are the decisions. It's not that we want you to just do things for fun. It helps for you as well. Then you have a balance sheet, which is a snapshot of financial position of the specific point in time at that time. Usually at the end of accounting period. Normally accounting period I 12 months. I can how long, ne? Because then that one is even longer. Then over the years, but Babu, I've been running a business for 2-3 years. See, then we can be able to see what is this 32 years saying in terms of numbers and the decisions that you have to make. Okay. So what do you need to prepare that balance sheet? As part of annual requirements for preparing a balance sheet, annual financial statements, companies are required to produce the balance sheet every year. This is where you need it. The English wasn't Englishing. And who else? Individuals need not prepare a balance sheet unless requested to do so by a bank or receiver or revenue. So it's not that it's going to be required like body size and filing, but it's important for you, right? As I said, the whole point is to be able to communicate your business without you being in the room. Okay? What are the elements that we need in that balance sheet? Most important, capital employed section, right? Employment of capital. Are we in the same place?
We are in the same place.
We are there.
Yes.
Okay.
No, I'm not there. What page is this?
47.
At least to one date. Which is the large shy as I say, now point us scroll out. Okay, I am there too now.
You know why I was not there? I was looking at this.
Oh, you were taking it in, yeah.
And I have a question.
Hold your question.
Okay, alright.
Okay.
Alright.
But it's important because I want to give it time. Because I'm sure it's about application, right?
It's about that I don't see salaries more this cost breakdown. So but what about wrong? Sorry, am I missing some ocean in my wages? And if I'm seeing the wages like this, with the net profit, yes, we are in business and we have salaries, we are running our businesses, we want to make profit. Check out the areas and your profit, where does it go? Is it just for savings or we reinvest it into the business? What's the purpose? What do we do with the profit?
Yes, that's the part where as an entrepreneur you have freedom. You
decide
grow.
what you want to do.
Yes.
Okay.
And also because you know the needs of your business as well. One, for growth, you're going to help us. Yes, it's important. Yes, savings are also important. But do calculate. But before we started business, you knew where your profit was coming from, where you are, what you are going to do, your aim with it, right?
Yes.
Okay, please help us.
I was saying in terms of where do you take your profits? Some of us we invest the money to buy the gold. You can put your 10,000 rand into one of the JC brokers. If you want to invest it, you can invest it there. Maybe after 12 months or 24 months, you go back and check your money. How does the investment go there?
Nice.
Yeah. Then you can open.
And you can leave off the profits you make from there.
Yes.
And then that one is stable.
Yes.
See, it's nice to learn from people in the room. People make money. Also already enough to revest JSE.
Yo. Because I was thinking, that's why I was a bit behind. I've always thought that you pay your workers from your
the
profit. That's why it was taking a bit of time to see, oh, the profit is up. Then what do we do with the profit? Do we save it?
That's the sweet spot of an entrepreneur.
Work
That's
hard,
where the money is
play hard.
coming from.
Yeah.
And those other ones are operational costs, so they're included. So before you calculate your in operations, they are covered. That's why you must include everything, including the desk and all the costs. Yes, Emmanuel, please help us.
Just to add on to that, I think I'm at dividends as well. If you have shareholders, I think the money comes from the profit itself.
Oh yes, when you are big, yes. Body checker shop like and whatnot, man. End of the year, they're like, hey, we have 50 million.
Sure.
Then they get, because also most of them, they don't earn a salary from your company. So they would rather say, we will eat their annual what was when the millions come in once a month, once a year, I know. Yeah. Thank you so much for that. Anyone else who wants to add something? Ideas?
Yeah, I think it's also important to note that you cannot see salaries on the balance sheet. On the balance sheet, balance sheet you can only see liabilities and assets. Capital, liabilities and assets. Salaries and wages are on your income statement.
Thank you. Right? Okay. Anyone else who wants to add? Now we move into assets. This is also something that will also fast track because we know what assets are, right?
Yeah.
We know fixed assets. It doesn't mean they don't move. Fixed assets doesn't mean they don't move. Fixed assets can move. You guys know the examples. Remember these ones we learned at school, eh?
They don't move.
And then we know current assets. Ne? Guys, ne doesn't mean over because of peer pressure. It's badala.
Yes.
Okay, great. Because I'm gonna assume that we know things that we don't know. We must ask. So I'm gonna go past the assets. We know what liabilities are.
Kind of.
Do you call it how? Or it's a company. They take two forms. There's the current one and there's the long-term ones. Do you see the difference there? Okay. Then we have cash flow statements. Very important. Do you guys see the cash flow statements? I think I need to keep up. We're moving. Who's already there? Nokwanda, please tell us what you see in the cash flow statements. Go straight to there. Don't define it, but tell us what is in there. Because I realize the importance of knowing what we put in what. So what should we find in a cash flow statement? The way I took you seriously. No way. I took you seriously. No, that was clever. Were you done with us? Someone did.
You asked what am I saying there, and my eyes just so
Manny, did you go to a sample of the cash flow statement? Who said yeah? Okay, thank you.
Okay, we wanted to find out what are the elements that need to be included
Yes, in the cash flow statement. Yes.
So let's say it's.
Wait, sorry, thank you. Do you guys have the example? Because sometimes I'll be saying things because I'm not looking at your manual. Oh, it's there. No, but it's okay. Help me. Bablele.
Okay, so from January we're gonna have our full year. We're gonna record January to December. Then from underneath January, we're gonna start by the opening balance of January. Then let's say maybe 30,000 rand. Then from the month of January, after we've got the opening balance, then we're gonna have an exit date, recorded dates of the first month of January in our cash flow. Then we're gonna have the expenses of the business. Then we list all of them. Then after the expenses of the business for the month of January, then we're gonna say underneath the total expenses we get it. Maybe let's say it's 15,000 rand. Then then we wanna know how did our cash flow went through for the month of January. Then we're gonna take our opening balance of January. It's 30,000 rand minus the total expenses of the business. Then we get the total amount that is left for the month of January. Then we put it down there. Then when we go to February, we take that last balance of January. Then it's gonna be our opening balance for the month of January. Thanks.
And in simple, most beautiful terms and patiently so. Does that make sense? Because because I was going through, the reason why I was saying it was so nice, because I'm looking at the diagram and he's explaining it without seeing it. The elements that he's talking about are there. As I said, familiarize yourself with these things because they are there and know how to. There's no such thing as a stupid question. You may not want to be able to ask me, but ask people in the room, okay? Yes. But I do urge you guys, please do it for your company, okay? No. So that you can ask help and say, so that you can be like, oh no girl, don't put this one, put it over there. No? Okay? So now the last section that we have is now maintaining those business records. Okay? Now that we know what they are, now we know what to do, now we need to maintain them. Very important. Who wants to tell us why is it important to maintain business records?
Mainly, I can say mainly it's for auditing purposes to create like an audit trail. So should SARS come to you and say, you know, you owe them this amount of money,
yes,
you're able to provide some sort of, you know, trail so that they can, you know, check and verify. Another thing, it's for maybe if you want to go for investment or funding, you don't have to tell them how much you need or what you're going to use the money for. Or, oh, sorry, I'm making a mistake wrong. You don't have to basically explain your business on how it's doing. You can just give them the financial record. They can see that.
I was going to ask you to say that again. To just summarize why we are here today. Right?
Yeah. So
very important, so that the business speaks for itself. Yes. Did I disturb you?
I think I forgot what I was about to say, but basically that, just to show how your business is doing financially. Mainly those two for me.
And then there's a nice summary on 3.2. Now that we are together, I can tell you it's page 56 or 57. So we have the document there. Then we have retention period, right? Retention period.